Hi, good morning. This is Nilanjana Chaudhary with one another video. Welcome everybody. Video 3. I shall start discussing a poem in this video. The first poem from Hornbill Class 11 English. The poem A Photograph, written by poet Shirley Tolson, is an emotional tribute to the poet's mother. The poet looks at an old photograph, sees her mother along with her two cousins spending sea holidays, recalls her mother and her memories. Well students, before I move on to textual discussion, let me talk to you and say something. From very childhood days you started reading and reciting poems. You read prose stories as well. Hope by now you have a clear idea about what is a poem. You might know the difference between a poem and a prose. No? Not yet? Okay, no problem. I will let you know about that. See, prose and poem are two distinctive different forms of literary works. The word prose is derived from Latin word prosa oration, meaning straightforward. A prose is categorically defined as a form of language based on grammatical structures, a form of a natural flow of a speech which tends to build paragraphs which comprise of full grammatical sentences. Prose is a presentation of written communication. On the contrary, this feature stands out from the form of poetry. The word poetry is derived from the Greek word poiesis, P-O-I-E-S-I-S, meaning making. Poem follows a metrical scheme, and obviously this is not based on grammatical rules and structure. A prose does not follow any metrical scheme, whereas I have told you people, poem follows a metrical scheme. In poetry we find music, rhythm, and poem is rhythmic, but prose is not so. Whereas in prose and poetry, in both, the literary personalities, I mean to say writers, poets, they express themselves. They share their experiences, they opine, they tell us stories, etc. Characteristically, metrical scheme, pattern, rhyming words and phrases, music and rhythm, these are all which create the difference in between these two. Famous poet William Wordsworth says, poetry is the spontaneous overflow of our powerful emotions. Now, there are different genres also in both prose and poetry. In prose, we have short stories, novella, novel, etc. Now, in poetry, we have ballad, epic, elegy and etc. So, this is the basic difference. Well, let's now move on. I hope students you could buy books. If not, then you can go and read texts from PDFs available on net. Now, today the discussion of this poem will include information about the poet, theme, recitation or reading of the poem, explanation, vocabulary, technique, that is rhyming scheme, poetic devices, etc. Then it will be followed by discussion of questions from the exercise, a few questions, and lastly I'll give you assignments. Now I'm going to start my discussion about the poet first. Poet Shirley Tolson was born in England in 1924. She was a poet, a teacher, an educational journalist, and an editor. Some of her works are Shadows in an Orchard, Drover's Roads, Orwell's, etc. She died aged 94. Now, about the thematic content. What is the theme of this poem? This poem denotes transient feature of human life, denotes human helplessness when confronted with death. Death is inevitable. This creates a void in life, an emptiness trails behind. Photograph significantly connotes one universal truth, that is, man is mortal, nature immortal, nature is perennial. So now let me read the poem. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she the big girl. Some 12 years or so, all three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. A sweet face my mother's, that was before I was born, and the sea which appears to have changed less was their terribly transient fate. Some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. See, Betty and Dolly, she would say, and look how they dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past, and mine is her laughter. Both rye with the laboured ease of loss. Now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. And of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. Its silence silences. Very short poem, very emotional as well. Now let me go through the explaining the text line by line. The cardboard shows me how it was. Cardboard here refers to the photograph. Photograph is framed with that means cardboard, framed in cardboard. And this photograph shows her something whenever she looks at the photograph. When the two girl cousins went paddling, she sees that there are two girls and they were paddling. Paddling here means walking or moving in shallow water. So both the girls, they were paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands. Now these two girls, they were holding her mother's hands. And she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. And she here refers to poet's mother, and she is the eldest one amongst three of them. She is the eldest one and her age by then was 12 years. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. Now they have their uncle ready with the camera to take a click photo, and they were ready posing for the camera. A sweet face my mother's. She recalls her mother's sweet face. She could see once she looks at the photograph. That was before I was born. She was not born yet. And the sea which appears to have changed less was their terribly transient fate. These two lines denote the sea itself has changed very little over the years, but it has washed off three sisters' feet, which actually refers to footprints. Was terribly transient feet here, that means footprints. Well, you might have visited seaside and you might have seen that when someone walks on the beach, leaves footprints, sea waves run up the shore, break down on it and wash off everything from the shore. Yes, footprints as well. So that is what the poet actually here told this one. The sea, that means sea waves, washed off their feet as well. Moreover, these two lines provide a significant connotation. It connotes, this extract, it connotes the fact that humans are short-lived. This truth is referred to by the phrase terribly transient feat here. Terribly transient feat. Now, feat refers to human life. Transient means something lasting for short period of time, something what is short-lived, impermanent. So I would like to further discuss about these extracts afterwards, after I complete reading and explaining the text, the whole poem. Some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. She thinks, the poet thinks that if after 20 or 30 years later, her mother also would have looked at the photograph and would have, recalled her past sea holidays, and she also would say something. What? See Betty and Dolly, she would say. Betty and Dolly must be these two that means girl cousins. Betty and Dolly, she would say, and look how they dressed us for the beach. That means they are dressed for the beach the way people actually wears. People wear. The sea holiday was her past. Mine is her laughter. Now we have got a clear hint. She clearly has mentioned something. What? Sea holiday was her past. Sea holiday was her here refers to poet's mother. And sea holiday was poet's mother's past. That means past time. She has left those moments behind. And she was at that point of time 12 years old. Later on she grew up and she gave birth in her womanhood, she gave birth to the child, to her child, this poet. So obviously that time was past in her life. And next the next part of the sentence, mine is her laughter. That means her laughter, poet's mother laughter is past in her life, poet's life. Meaning what? That refers to poet has lost her mother. Poet's mother passed away. Both try with the labored ease of loss. Both try with the labored ease loss. Can you tell me what is referred to by both here? Both here refers to mother's laughter, her sea holidays, and poet's memory of her mother. Ry here, W-R-Y, means human's helplessness, sadness. This is textual meaning. Literal meaning of the word Ry is an expression of disgust, disappointment and annoyance. So, both Ry, this phrase means it is very sad that we lose our near and dear ones. We cannot help it but accept this fact. The moment is gone, the person passes away, leaving behind an emptiness, a void created due to death, and a disgusting helplessness for others for not being able to do anything to get rid of this. So, and then with the labored ease of loss, labored is, these two contradictory words make an expression which highlights and intensifies the sense of loss. So this extract denotes the irreparable loss, struggle to cope with the loss that made the poet grief-stricken. But she realizes also this fact that this is final. Death caused the separation that will last forever. Both here suffered the ravages of time. Next one. Now, she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. Which girl lived? Poet herself. Her mother is dead for nearly as many years as she lived by now. And of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. Its silence silences. And of this circumstance, which circumstance here? Circumstance here refers to the period after her mother's death. Now, this present state and present time in poet's life, there is nothing to say at all. Um, circumstance I have told you people. Now there is nothing to say at all. Poet means to say that she is left speechless. No words to describe the terrible pain she is suffering from due to her mother's death. Sad demise of her mother, left her grief-stricken. Its silence silences. Its here refers to death. Death silences. Death silences everything, and silence prevails thereafter. Her heart filled with sadness. Now, this is the poem I have explained. Now, let me get back to the extract. I told you this one. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, was their terribly transient feat. We can realize now the significance of the extract after we have come to know what actually happened in her life. After we got to know that her mother passed away. Change is constant. Sometimes change is, that means pleasant, sometimes unpleasant. This type of change in life makes our life full of sorrow. Compared to the human life represented by the poet's mother, the nature here represented by the sea. In this poem, the sea has not changed much. But one disastrous, damaging change took place in their lives. What? Poet's mother has lost her life and the poet has lost her mother, resulting in a painful separation of the mother and the child. So this extract significantly reveals one truth of the world. I have told you, I mentioned this one in thematic content as well. What is this? Can you remember? Yes, man is mortal and nature immortal. So this is the end of the textual explanation, and hope you have understood very well. If you have any doubt, students, please collect all those, list all those up. While taking online classes, I will love to clear all your doubt. I may have one doubt clearing session as well. And now let me end the video here. In my next video, I shall discuss the technique, rhyming schemes, poetic devices, a few questions from the exercise, vocabulary, that means unknown words, unfamiliar words with their meanings, and etc. So till then, be happy, stay secure, bye.